In conservative circles, wokeness is a swear word. It is associated with what conservatives consider to be extreme left-wing causes. For example, conservatives consider recognition of LGBTQ gender categories as wokeness. Separation of church and state is considered woke, as is recognition of the fact that colonial era economies were based on slavery. It is difficult not to be woke if anti-wokeness means denying historical facts such as slavery and apartheid. Yet wokeness can be toxic when slavery and apartheid become the excuse for looting our country instead of building it. You hear stupid apologists for looters proudly saying that apartheid authorities looted state resources too. So we are expected to applaud a looting competition between the ANC and apartheid. The anti-woke brigade also hate science and its institutions. The inability of laymen to understand science is interpreted as a conspiracy by scientists to dupe the public. Conspiracy theories against science often overlap with conspiracy theories against big business. For example, the anti-woke brigade rubbished the science of vaccines and accused scientists of dishonestly producing results prescribed by their big business paymasters. In the USA, the conservative Republican Party has been hijacked by the anti-woke movement led by Donald Trump. They have managed to portray the slightly more left-wing Democratic Party of Kamala Harris as hopelessly woke. The new American politics splits the population into anti-woke working-class Republicans and woke Democratic Party university graduates. Before Trump, American politics divided the population into conservative Republicans and progressive Democrats. Both sides had substantial numbers of university-educated people. Today, the division is woke versus anti-woke. Graduates are predominantly found on the woke side. The anti-woke brigade don't even understand the purpose of democracy. They view it in the same light as science, a conspiracy by the educated. This is why Donald Trump gets thunderous applause when rubbishing democratic institutions, including the judiciary and the administration of elections. The anti-woke movement has no coherent ideology or policies except opposition to everything for which the establishment stands. In particular, the anti-woke movement considers chaotic and violent expression of rage against the establishment as acceptable. American politics has a profound effect on South African politics. Our Trump is, of course, Jacob Zuma. Like their American counterparts, the South African working class is quick to blame democracy for their woes. The threats to scrap the Constitution are as typical of Trump as they are of Zuma. The mentality of the rioting January 6 crowds, which Trump mobilized on Capitol Hill, was the same as that of the July 21 crowds, which Zuma mobilized in Gauteng and in KZN. The current threat that Trump won't accept a loss is as potent as Zuma's threat was before May 29 that he wouldn't accept a loss. The world is in danger of being taken over by those guys who left school in a half at break time. The guys who remained at school seem too decent to know how to handle the bullies. In a normal world, no one is 100% woke or anti-woke. Most people are in between. But in our highly polarized world, people have shifted to the extremes. In South Africa, the situation is interesting from a racial perspective. Whites are woke or anti-woke in the American sense. The wokeness or anti-wokeness of blacks has a racial tinge. The ANC marketed the myth that the cause of economic problems for blacks is white oppression. Belief in this stupid myth is part of black wokeness. In fact, this myth is a conspiracy theory, and conspiracy theories involving haters and witches are an inextricable aspect of African culture. But conspiracy theories are normally the intellectual baggage of the anti-woke brigade. So our woke, anti-woke divide is very awkward indeed.